Hi there. All right, I'm reporting in about the status of the clinical trial that I'm involved with. So, as you may remember, I am genetically destined to develop Alzheimer's disease, and I'm a part of a clinical trial that is hoping to prevent the onset of the disease. And today, December 1st, was supposed to be the day where I received my first dose of either placebo or experimental drug. There was a 50-50 chance of either. And unfortunately, where I am is actually in the car with my family on the ride home without receiving a dose, which is not a bad place to be with my family, but unfortunately, no dose. So what happened? Well, I was contacted last week by the coordinator that I've been working with, and apparently during one of the earlier baseline or screening appointments that I've gone through for the trial, a blood test was missed. It was something called a serum pregnancy test, which checks the level of pregnancy hormones in your blood. And it was supposed to have been given to me, I think, in September. It's now December. In my view, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think that a pregnancy test taken in early September would be relevant at this point, since it's now early December. But apparently it's a box that needed to be checked in the protocol that wasn't checked, and because it wasn't checked, I'm not eligible to start the trial yet. This is disappointing for a lot of reasons. For one, ever since we found out in 2022 about our family's genetic connection to Alzheimer's disease, I have been eager to get involved in a clinical trial. And so the dosing milestone was a big one. It was the first day I was actually going to receive trial drug, and I was really looking forward to that. But it's also frustrating because my family coordinated our Thanksgiving plans around being able to be in Dallas on December 1st, the first day after the Thanksgiving holiday, in order to attend that appointment. You know, it's not easy for Brant and I to both get away. We've got two boys, and so we made the plan to have them out of school for the day so that we could both be there, get the dose, and travel home on the way home from our Thanksgiving holiday travel. And so there was no way to change that plan, which means that, you know, my boys are missing school today for nothing, and we had to stay in a hotel last night for nothing. And now the game plan is that they want to send a traveling nurse back to my house this week to take the pregnancy test that wasn't taken in early September. And then at that point, I should be eligible to receive my first dose, which they want to have happen next week. So I'm supposed to drive back up and then, of course, back down again to receive that. To be honest with you, the situation is just one of many in the trial so far that has me concerned. You know, there wasn't a plan for my care after the lumbar puncture, and I ended up having to go to the emergency room after 5 days lying flat on my back. Sorry, Brent was reminding me that I had to go to the emergency room twice because we didn't know where we were going to be able to get the blood patch that I needed to stop the headache. We didn't know when I would be able to get it, and right now I have the bills from that appointment, which I'm hoping that the trial will cover based on the information that we were originally provided with. It seemed like any care that dealt directly with side effects from the trial and the procedures of the trial was covered, but I haven't received acknowledgement of that bill yet. And so between that and, you know, not getting to actually go to the appointment today, having arranged to have the kids with us, missing a day of school, having to, you know, cover the hotel room for ourselves last night because the plans fell through for the dosing, and then to be asked to return to Dallas, which is another 8 hours of driving for me round trip. It feels like there's a lot more being asked of our family right now, and a lot more uncertainty than we originally expected there to be with trial participation, and that's tough. I don't know if this is the intent of the study, that the participant experience be so chaotic as ours has been, or if it's the particular clinic that I'm dealing with or coordinator that I'm dealing with, or somewhere in the chain for me in particular. So this coming week, I really hope to do some investigation and talking to those involved in the administration of the trial to see if this is what should be happening or whether my experience has gone wonky for some reason. I believe that the risks of the experimental drug are well understood, but in the case that I find myself in an emergency after having received experimental drug, I need to know that there's a plan for my care, and it can't involve us driving 4 hours to get to Dallas. So I just want to make sure that things are a little bit more buttoned up moving forward. And it's a bit painful because it is something that I've been looking forward to for so long, and the experience just is not what I expected it to be. So for now, we're on the road home, doseless, and hoping that the coming week brings some answers about all of this. I'll keep you posted. Thank you for following my story.